All right, so let's continue where we left off. So I just wanted to add a couple of things here that might be helpful. So we're going to leave this page 4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to page 3, and I'm just going to add another page, okay? But this page I'm going to make a little bit different. What I want to do on this one is I'm actually going to import a video, right? If you've ever done a PDF, you'll know it doesn't have videos, but an interactive one can. However, it needs to have something that can play the video. So, first I'm going to do is I'm going to place the video. So I'm going to go to place, file, place, and then I got to find a video to place. So I'm just going to go to like, where are you? Portfolio. Let's see, and then animations. I just have a bunch of animation stuff. So let's do charcoal. I'm just going to use this as an example. Okay. I'm going to click, and it's going to lay out this video, and I'm just going to go ahead and hold Control and Shift and just scale it out. Okay, so it's not going to preview in here because obviously it's a video, so it's not. So I'm going to do something like this. Okay, that's great, but and if you get your links, you'll see that it's now part of our links. But the issue is that there's nothing to tell it to play. So if I were to run this, I'm not sure if it would play at all. I think it would just be nothing. So we want to be able to make it play. So to make that happen, we need to make a play button. I'm just going to go ahead and just make a generic rectangle here. Okay. You don't have to include this in yours. I just want you to see this in case you might want to later on. So we'll just do a black thing here. Okay. So I'm just going to make this my play button. So with it selected, I'm just going to have it selected. Type button. Okay. And then the action, we're going to go ahead and do video. And basically the options, we have play, stop, pause, so on and so forth, right? So there's a bunch of different, options here, right? And they even have Swift, which is pretty cool. So if we wanted to put a Swift, which is from Animate, but I'm just going to go ahead and just leave play. Play's good enough for me. So I'm going to have play. And then you choose the video here. So I only have one video, so it auto-populated that. But if I had multiple videos, I'd have to choose the video I wanted to play. So in this case, it's just going to play this. But if I want to make a stop button and all that other stuff, I'd put that in there as well. And that would be that. Okay. Now, the reason why I want to show you this is that eventually, normally what we have you guys do at the end of this semester, and I might still have you do it, I'm not sure because things are a little bit weird right now, is that we make this digital portfolio in here, and then at the end of the semester, I have you take all of the work that you have made and you plop it into this, right? Well, one of the things that we're going to create is actually an animation. I think it's like the third to last week or maybe the second to last week. So you can actually put your animation into this PDF, but you're going to need to make this play button in order for it to work. So that's the reason why I'm showing you it. You don't have to do it now for this week's assignment. I would even suggest not doing it. I just want you to know that it exists, so in case you want to do that. All right? Cool. All right. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is this. I'm just going to make a button. We'll just make text, and I'm just going to call it, we'll call it resume, right? Imagine it was a button. I'm going to call it button. But basically, I'm just going to go ahead, and I went to my master, so it's on all of them. And I'm just going to put this right here. So it's basically like an extra button. And I still have my buttons and fonts. Again, it's just on Windows Interactive, and then buttons and forms. I think I said buttons and fonts, but we're going to make it a button. And actually, I need to do something else first before I do this. Sorry. So we'll make it a button. That's fine. I'm going to go to number 5 here. And I need to do something to this. So you'll see there's this tab for bookmarks. You can also, again, get it here and you'll see bookmarks. Okay, so I'm going to go to bookmarks. And, well, I'm going to double click and make sure you're on this one. This is the one that has the resume. I'm going to hit the little plus and just, I don't know, we'll name it resume, right? Okay. Boop, hit enter. Good. Okay. So now that is the resume bookmark. Okay, so that's fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a button out of this. This thing's button is going to go to that bookmark. So I'm going to click on this and we're going to go to destination. Yep, go to destination. And then the destination is going to be, well, it's already auto-populated. So the document that we're currently in, you could go to a different document, but the destination is going to be resume. So it's going to go to that bookmark I just made that's on this guy. Okay. So now when I click this, it's going to go to this. So basically, on every page, when you go to any one of these pages, if they want to go to my resume, they can click right there, and it will automatically go to page 5 that has my resume on it. All right. So when you are done with this, what you are going to do is export it. Now, for your own intents and purposes, you would still want to package this. Okay, so remember I was saying before we need a package and I made a big deal out of it and all that. You still should package it. Even if it's something you're going to keep for yourself and, you should keep all of your work. Just keep it in a folder, get an external hard drive, put stuff on there. Anything you've been making. It's, quite frankly, you're going to be better eventually and all of it's going to look like garbage to you. But it's nice to look back and be like, oh, I remember when I made that. It's nostalgic. So anyway, you should still package it. But what I want from you is not the package. So if you remember when you make the package, it makes a PDF automatically, which is pretty cool, and I can click on it and see what you're working on. But it makes a generic PDF. It's just PDF. It's not an interactive PDF. They're different things. I mean, they're kind of similar, but they're different. I mean, they both are PDFs, but one has extra stuff and the other one doesn't. So you need to actually export out the interactive PDF. So you're just going to go File, Export, and then I'm just going to go Desktop here, and we'll just call this Cone Portfolio. Okay, and then the options you have are these, and I want you to choose interactive, not the print one, the interactive PDF. Okay, save. It's going to give you some options. Embed. Yeah, that's all good. Hit export. This document using yeah, that's fine. And it's going to export out. Now this might take a little bit longer than normal. For one, it's going to have to embed. It's going to have to basically, a PDF actually holds all those images and the videos, and you can do sound and other things. So what you're going to notice is when I minimize this, does it automatically open it up? I think it does, doesn't it? Let's see. Maybe, I think it will. Yeah, it did automatically open it up. It's going to automatically open it up. Let me make this big. And that's closed. And I'm just going to change my view to, come on. Let's do to page level. Okay. So now you see we have our thing here. Make Adobe. Now notice when I hover over it, look, see it turns red like we did with our buttons. Okay. And when I click on it, see it turns blue. And when I let go, it goes to the next page. Right? We can go to each one of those pages. And I can click, which is pretty neat. Okay. And if I click on this, it's not going to show up, but it's going to open up the web browser over here. Oh, it's trying to connect. Well, you get the idea. I'm just going to cancel it. But basically, it will open up that web page again, which is pretty neat. If I click on resume, it's going to bring me right to page 5 where my resume is. Okay. Pretty nice. And then here, if I click on this button, it takes a second. It's a little bit slow. Actually might ask me for permissions too. I can't remember. Yeah, so options. I gotta trust this document always. And that should work. Do I gotta click it again? Maybe I gotta click it again. It's usually a little slow. Did this earlier. Come on, there it goes. Woo! And it's gonna play my little animation I did. This is a charcoal animation I did in college. Basically, it's on vellum. It's on a plastic piece of paper. So basically, I draw on the same paper over and over again, and then I just erase it as I'm drawing it. So it's kind of like a mixture of stop motion and hand drawn, if you're interested. Anyway, there you go. So now you can see you have basically this kind of interactive PDF that you can put your stuff into. And you can use this later on as kind of a template, and you can build off of it and do all sorts of interesting stuff. Pretty neat, right? So here's what I want you to do. This is what I would like for you for this week, okay? So now we're getting to the meat of it. I would like this. You should have a logo, okay? Logo looks like this. Not like this, but whatever your logo is, I don't care what it is, but it needs to have a logo and, clear font choices, okay? So that should be one part of it. You should also have a next and previous button that are interactive, that when you click on them, it goes to the next page and it goes to the previous page. Okay. The logo does not need to be a button. It doesn't have to go to a website. Don't care about that. But the next and previous buttons should function. Okay. So as far as that part is concerned, the interactive is these parts, the two buttons here, and then the logo is the logo, and that should be there. Okay. It should be on your master, so it shows up on all of them. You should have a front page here. I kind of did it up here, so maybe it should have been in here. I don't know. But I don't care how you design it, but you need to have kind of your top page. Okay, so however you want to do that, I don't care. Get creative with it. You could put a piece of artwork on there, put a drawing, move the fonts all around, play around with the design. But you should have a front page. It basically just says what your name is, and how to contact you, right? So it should be a front page. It just has that. Okay. Makes sense. Then you should have a couple of subpages. You can do at least 2. I think 2 is good enough. Just have at least 2 pages, because all they're going to be is duplicates, and you're just placing the images in there. So if I was going to make this my action portfolio, I would probably put a little description in here too. I'm not going to expect you to do that right now, but have at least 2 subpages with just pictures or something that you've placed into it. All right, so I would just take work that you did from the previous class, or you can take other work. If you have another class you're doing photography and you're like, oh, this would be cool, I want to do my photos in there, throw it in there. I don't really care what you use, but something of that sort. If you have videos, you can put them in there. I am not expecting this at all. Don't do this, okay? You could, but I don't really care if you do. I'm just showing you for later purposes. And then I'm actually not worried about you doing this either. It would be cool if you did a resume page. You could just probably take what you did in Word and just copy and paste it into here. And then, and then do this little link button or something, or maybe, I put it on my master sheet, but you could just put it on the first sheet. Like just have resume, contact me, or resume here. And you don't have to put it on every single page. I don't know if that looks good. I kind of don't like it on every page. If I were to do it, I would probably just put it right here. And then, have it at the end. But I don't really care about this. So just literally you need to have a front page, a next and previous button, a logo, and then at least 2 subpages. That's what I'm looking for. Okay? And then when you're done, export it. You're going to go File, Export, Interactive PDF, not just the regular PDF. And then that is what you are going to send me. Okay? That and a project cover sheet, because it's always a project cover sheet. I hate them too. So you're going to do those 2 things, and that would be it. All right. So this is something I think you could have a lot of fun with, start thinking about how you want to do the things that you're doing. Branding is really, really important. When you are working, I think a lot, when I was younger, I used to think like, oh, I want to work at this place, or I want to work at that place. Right. So I used to try and to some degree create art that would be similar, or it would look like their stuff. As I've gotten older, I've realized more and more, when you're applying for a job, they're buying you as an individual. There's a million other people who can do other things, that can do like the exact same thing. They're buying you. They're buying what your work is, knowing that you can make that work again. And so you want to try and show yourself in your branding, be like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I make. Because they want your style, not just your polish. Polish matters, the ability to create good craftsmanship and all that jazz. You should always go for that, because that's just a solid. But the thing that's going to put you above is going to be your style, your uniqueness. Everyone's a snowflake. It's silly as that sounds, it's absolutely true. We're all the same. We all have commonalities, and we touch each other in different ways through that. But we're also all individuals. And so, that's how you're going to help separate yourself. You might have noticed with my own website, right? I use this stupid little cone guy for everything, right? I mean, I wore this stupid hat. You probably saw in the previous video. I'm trying my best. But you'll notice that it helps make the site unified, right? And it adds a sort of flavor to it. It'd be like, oh, he's silly and stupid. And that's totally true. So that's, so you want to try and this is a way visually to show yourself, because a lot of if you're doing graphic design, that sort of work, that's what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to show a brand, like, this is who the brand is. So this is you showing who you are. Okay. So try to play around with it. You probably won't get it right. When you get done with this, you'll be like, oh, it looks okay. But it'll be your first iteration, so that later on, when you do it in DI3 or you do it in Capstone, you will like perfect it. You'll like, oh, because I've gone through a bunch of different things that I've done myself that have changed. And I'll probably will hopefully keep changing more, because we change as people. So, and I made this video longer than it needed to be. Sorry, went off on a rant. But, play around with it. Have fun with it. Try to do the best you can. To me, this is a little more enjoyable. As far as InDesign stuff is concerned. And then next week, if you hate InDesign, we are done. This is the last week of InDesign, and we're going back to Photoshop. Okay, so yeah, good luck. And if you run into any issues, let me know. Obviously, as per usual. Or if there's something I messed up, let me know as well. All right, so good luck, guys.